All right. Hello, guys. Happy Thursday. I hope you guys are doing great today. How are you? How's everyone doing? So, today I'm a little late, but just bear with me. It's not going to be the same time every single day because it depends on my appointments with my clients, on other commitments. So, I'll let you know, like I said, like every day when I'll be live. So, okay, good afternoon. How's everyone doing? My name is Noura. I am an enrolled agent and the founder of Noura's Books. I'm also known as the nonprofit CFO. So if you're new here, welcome. If you know me already, welcome back. Um, I'll be talking today about a very important topic, and yeah, you guys, like wherever you are, person you want to do personal return, you might be wondering if you have to do personal return or not. You might be not sure about your business, your nonprofit. So I want you to be here and listen and share this with anyone who you think might benefit from. So okay, guys, so today's topic is, I get a lot of questions. All, the past few years, like a lot of people were saying that, but I don't have to file tax return. I'm going to speak about some category of us people and, other entities. They think they do not have to file a tax return, and they might not have to file tax return for sure. But there's other reason you might want to think about that will make you go ahead and file your tax return. So one of the reason is to avoid any identity theft. Identity theft is real. Actually, just today we received to our company a phishing email. I don't know if you know what phishing is. They send you these emails with link to click on, and I'm glad we're trained for that. Like even IRS sends a lot of communications about the phishing. This is the time they send it to a lot of people. Whenever like there's money going on or there's opportunity for people to get money, they try to get people information so they can do the phishing. This is what one of the reason I tell my clients. So let me get the other lights. I tell my clients not to email me anything. I request that all the documents comes through my secure portal, because you never know what happens with the email. We don't want your information stolen. So you want to be really careful with that. If you have any question while I'm talking, please let me know in the chat and I'll be happy to talk to you about it. Even if it's not related to the topic, we'll wait until the end, but I'm going to make sure like I cover that for you. So you don't want any identity theft for that. Like I'll tell you a story. Actually, I had a client who did not file for a few years. And then when we started to filing her returns, some of the years were not accepted. It said someone else filed on your behalf. Well, when filing for yourself, that's not really common unless someone else stole your identity, claiming that he was or she was you, and just to get to the return. So that really happens. Usually this happens mostly with minor children, when one parent deserves to file for the kids, but the other parents still go ahead and give the information for the tax professional. Now, if the tax professional doing their due diligence, they should be asking a lot of questions and have proof that the child has lived with that parents for that year, for more than 6 months of that year. However, even like if the tax professional did not ask that, I mean, even when they ask that, the other parents might bring some proof. and there's no way for the tax professional to know that. As long as they did their due diligence, they're not responsible for that. But if you are the parents who should file and claim your children, this is when like you can still like file and send your return in the mail. It's going to take time, but eventually you will get what you deserve if you prove that the child lived with you for the and other criteria with that. So that's one thing. But usually for adults, for us, it's rare that when you see a tax return rejected for that reason, someone else claimed that return and claimed that social security for that same year. That means most likely you are hacked. Someone else filed on your behalf. So that is one of the very main reason that I want you guys to go ahead and file regardless. Even if you're not making a lot of money and you think you don't have a filing requirement, go ahead still. There's like availability to file for free. At least you protect your social security. So you want to make sure to do that. So that is the biggest reason. And then there's another reason. Actually, there's a lot of money, and I didn't look that number for this year, but a lot of money from the IRS. They hold those money for you guys because they're expecting that you're going to file to get that credits, even if you're not required to file. So if you don't claim that credit, this money are gone. And even if you file late, like I think they hold it for 3 years, and after 3 years, you cannot get any refunds. Well, if you paid taxes already, you get that. But I mean, for the credits, you are not eligible anymore. So for the states, it depends on the state. So you have to look into the state. But why to keep that money like that? You can claim to go for someone else, right? Just file. And like I said, you can file free online if you don't have anything other than just simple information, doesn't have any deduction, doesn't have anything. Maybe you want to get an advice to see what's going on and what can you do, what you should do. But don't just not file, because identity theft is something real. And also that money, like if you're not having requirement to file, that means you're not making a lot of money. So you probably need that money that the government has for you, but only if you claim, right? We've seen that during the pandemic, like when they were sending the stimulus checks, and only they can send it for people who has filed for their tax return. Now you say like this is not going to happen again. Well, who knows? I mean, we didn't know that COVID's going to happen, right? So make sure you file. It's not going to hurt you. It's going to hurt you more if you do not file. So make sure you do file. So again, I mentioned two very important reasons. The most important one is the identity theft. The other one is the credit that you might deserve. Now, you might say, like, how do I know if I'm required to file or not? So if you're not familiar with that, it's actually your standard deductions. So if you have a standard deductions, if you make more than the standard deductions, then you have to file. And that changed every single year. The standard deductions for this year, I wrote them down because I don't memorize that. So for single or married filing separately, it's 12,950. Again, it's 12,950. For married filing jointly is 25,900. And then for the head of household, it's 19,400. So these are the standard deduction. But how do you know if you have to file or not? If you're making less than 12,950, this is when you know that you do not have to file. However, like I said, make sure you file either way, because the two reasons, again, I'm going to repeat these two reasons. I'm not going to get tired of repeating. It is the identity theft, and then The second thing is the credits you might be eligible for. So don't leave that money on the table. You could start a business with that, right? You never know. You can use it for something. You can save it. You can do whatever. So these are the two reasons. And then I'm going to go over the most people, the three category, I think, that they should file, but they're not aware that they should file. Well, the only category of that is people who makes less than the standard deduction. Yeah, they don't have filing requirements, but I think they should file still to protect their identity and to get the money they are entitled to. So that's the first one, and that's the only one. It's your choice if you want to do it or not. It's your choice. The second category is expats. So those people who are U.S. residents or citizen. So if you have a green card, if you are a citizen in the U.S., but you live abroad anywhere, Canada, Turkey, Egypt, Dubai, anywhere, like wherever you live, a lot of people think they do not have to file because they don't work here. Well, the bad news is you might have to backfile now because yes, you have a filing requirements. You have to file every year, even if you do not live in the United States, as long as you are a U.S. person, whether you are a citizen, a green card holder, you have to file. So you have to file, and you have to file every year. Yes, you get exclusion. So there's like over $100,000 every year that threshold does change. You can exclude, and you do not have to pay taxes on that. So you don't have to worry so much. If you make more than that, you might have to pay taxes. It depends. So, but you wanna see, like, you want to make sure like you file every year. And more than that, you actually might have to do FBAR, because if you live and work overseas, you might have I'm sure you have a bank account. And if you have a bank account, and even if one day that bank account or multiple bank accounts, even investment accounts, have a total of $10,000 or more, even for one day, collectively, they don't have to be in one bank account. Collectively, if they've been like, if you have that amount, then you have to file FBAR for that tier. And FBAR, if you've been following me, you probably heard about FBAR already. It is reporting for a Treasury Department. You have to report that saying, hey, Treasury Department, I have this much money in this country. This is the account information, and it does belong to me. Now, we're not going to go in depth on FBAR, but the main thing for this live today is just to know that you have to file. Number 3, and this is the last category I'm going to cover today, is if you are not a citizen or resident, but you are someone who have a business or interest in a business that is based in the US. Again, if you have a business or interest in a business that is in the US, you might have to file taxes. And it has like different rules, different laws, but you might have to do it. So it depends. Always consult with a tax professional. Make sure you do it right. Make sure to keep your business in a good standing. Well, actually, I lied. It wasn't my last category. Number 4 is something else that I think it's really, really, really important. And you guys know how much I love you, and it is nonprofits. Often when I talk to nonprofits founders, or someone who thinks they're looking to start a nonprofit, or who's been in nonprofit for a while, when they hear that they have to file, they are surprised. And yeah, guys, you have to file. You might not have to file taxes. I'm sorry, you have to file taxes. You might not have to pay taxes, but you have to file. And your tax return is 990, whether it's 990 N card, 990 EZ, or 990 full form. You have to file that, and there's like different threshold. Go to my other live about 990s, and you can learn more about what's the requirement, what the threshold, and everything. So you have to file, and you have to file every year. If you do not file for 3 consecutive years, you will lose your exempt status. Another thing, if you do not file even for 1 year, you will get penalized. So even if you did not go to the 3 consecutive year extreme, you actually might still lose your, still like be penalized by paying penalty. So you don't want to get there. And you might heard me saying one of the client story. Actually, they did not use a professional to file, and they thought they have filed, but IRS, if you submit incomplete return, they consider you that did not file. And if you did not file, means you're going to get the penalty, and that is a daily penalty, and it depends on the size of your nonprofit. The penalty range between $20 and $105 a day. It is serious. You want to pay attention to that, and you want to make sure you don't get there and you don't get that penalty, and you do not lose the exempt status, because this way you're losing your donors, and you don't want to get there. So be careful. So again, my 4 categories is, the first one is the people who make less than the standard deductions, and those, they do not have a filing requirement, but my recommendation is to file because that will protect you from identity theft, and that will get you some money probably. Another thing, another category, second one, is the expats, and you guys have a filing requirement, and you might have to file FBAR in addition to your tax return. Number 3 is what? Remind me. Type in the chat if you remember. So we mentioned people who make less than the standard deduction. We mentioned the expats. And then the third one is if you are not a U.S. person. Well, I'm not going to use the U.S. person because that's not the thing. No, you are not a U.S. citizen, or you are not a green card holder. You do not even live in the U.S., but you have an interest in the business in the U.S. or a business in the U.S., so you are required to file. Number 4, if for your nonprofit, you are required to file every single year. So that's it for today. If you have any question, please put them below, and let me just give you my link on the bio, and will be in the description box. You can just go to the link. Well, I'm not going to put my link today, but it's going to be in the description box. It's going to be in the bio. So go to norisbooks.com, and you're going to find all of these information. Or if you are on Instagram, it's going to be on the bio. Make sure you subscribe, you follow me, and you comment, ask your questions so I know what you want me to talk about, and I'll be happy to talk to you. I'm still taking clients for personal, business, and nonprofit returns. So make sure you book your appointment today. Don't delay, because my calendar is filling up very quickly. So make sure you have your spot, have your appointment, and or email me if you have any questions. So I'll talk to you soon, and see you tomorrow. Bye.